Hi, welcome to this I Don't Drink mind reprogramming track. Now, when you listen to this, make sure that it's at a time when you won't be disturbed. Make sure that it's at a time when you can pay this your full attention. So make sure you're not operating any machinery or driving when you listen to this, because this track will require your full attention. Now, my name is Dan Jones, and I spend my life helping people to reprogram their minds on an unconscious level. So what happens is that you begin to find change easier and more effortless, because you begin to make changes not only consciously, but unconsciously as well. So as you listen to this, take some time just to get comfortable. It could be sitting down or lying down. And it can be quite nice to listen to this with headphones on. That just enhances the effects of this track. So when you're ready, just gently allow your eyes to close as you continue to listen to me talking to you here. And as you listen to me talking to you here, you may find yourself drifting a little bit, or perhaps almost entering like a daydreamy kind of state. And that's okay. And you'll be aware of everything I'm saying. But every now and then you may zone in or out as your mind goes to other thoughts and ideas. And this is all perfectly natural. Now, some people will listen to this track just once and find that that once was enough to be able to say, I don't drink. Other people may listen to this track every day until they notice that they can just say, I don't drink, easily and effortlessly. So the best way to use this track is to listen to it as many times as you need. And you can always get this track out in the future if you just need a quick booster. And so the process I'm about to take you through is a very powerful process. And because it's an interactive process, you have to follow along and follow the instructions. It may be that what I ask you to do is a little difficult to think of at first. So it may be that you listen to this track just to follow through and see what it is that you're going to have to follow. And then you listen to this track properly once you've taken some time consciously to get the answers that you need for the questions. So with your eyes closed and just in your mind's eye, imagine 4 TV screens side by side. One over to the left, one next to that, nearer to centre, one slightly to the right and one over to the right. So you have 4 TV screens in your mind's eye. And then what I'd like you to do is on that first TV screen, I'd like you to get a representation of whatever it is that's that trigger that's in every situation where in the past you'd given in and had a drink. So it could be a certain feeling you get. Like a craving. It could be a certain thought or sentence that you say to yourself. Just something that's in every one of the drinking times that you've had in the past. So for some people, it can be a feeling. For other people, it can be the sight of a specific type of alcohol. Or it can be hearing a specific sound, like sounds of glasses, or a sentence that somebody says. Whatever your own personal trigger is, that one thing that when it happens, it just makes you know you want a drink, and makes you know that you're going to have a drink at whatever the cost. So whatever that trigger is, get that on this first screen. And on the second screen, I'd like you to see a representation of the worst possible thing that could happen if you gave in to what was on the first screen. So the worst possible thing that can happen if you end up having a drink. And think of the worst possible thing. The thing that is the thing that would most motivate you to think, I really don't want that worst thing. So it could be dying from the alcohol. It could be having your liver rotting away. It could be bad health. It could be the amount of money that you'll be spending. Whatever for you is the worst thing. It could be ending up with diabetes. Whatever it is that's personal to you and important to you, that is the worst case scenario. So that's your worst case scenario. Just allow a representation of that to form on screen too. And then look over in the right direction to screen 3. And on screen 3, I'd like you to see in big bold letters, I don't drink. So in big bold letters, I'd like you to see the words, I don't drink. And I'd like you to hear your voice assertively saying, I don't drink. As you see those words on that screen. And then all the way over in the right direction to that 4th screen. I'd like you to get a representation of the future as someone that doesn't drink. So all the positives, every single positive you can possibly think of. So it could be improved health, it could be different activities you'll be taking up. Whatever the positives are that are specific to you and mean something to you. All the positives. And just see yourself in that screen. Just see yourself enjoying that life, enjoying that future. And see yourself in many different positive situations. Perhaps it could be seeing yourself with more money, seeing yourself in better health, seeing yourself taking up different activities, whatever it is that's personal to you. Just see yourself. And really have a sense of all the feelings associated with that enjoyable future. Having said, I don't drink. So now that you've got the 4 screens in your mind, you've got the initial trigger, you've got the worst case scenario. If you happened to have given into that trigger. You've got the sentence, I don't drink, being said assertively. And you've got the bright and positive future that's ready for you. So again, just take a few moments to notice those screens are there. And to know what's on those screens. And then what I'm going to ask you to do in a moment is to open your eyes and then close your eyes. And when you close your eyes, I'm going to fairly quickly go through those 4 stages and ask you to look at each stage in turn. And then when I've asked you to look at each stage in turn, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes and close your eyes and do the same again and again a few times. And what this is doing is embedding this new series of thoughts, this new pattern in your neural network, this new pattern in the way that you think about drinking. And each time you close your eyes, you can find yourself relaxing a little deeper and find this easier to follow. So open your eyes and close your eyes and look at screen 1. That trigger that triggers wanting a drink. Then look at screen 2, that worst case scenario. Then at screen 3, I don't drink. Then screen 4, all the positives, all the pleasure in the future. And then open your eyes and close your eyes. And look at screen 1, that trigger. Look at screen 2, the worst case scenario. Really feel it. Look at screen 3, I don't drink. Really internalize that positive feeling of saying, I don't drink. Then look at screen 4 and see all the positives you get from saying, I don't drink, and being a non-drinker. Then open your eyes and close your eyes, that's it. And look at screen 1, that trigger. Look at screen 2, the worst case scenario had you given into the trigger. Look at screen 3, I don't drink. Look at screen 4, feeling all the positives of being a non-drinker. Then open your eyes and close your eyes. And look at screen 1, notice the trigger. Look at screen 2, Noticing the worst case scenario had you given in to the trigger. Look at screen 3 saying, I don't drink. Look at screen 4. All the positives and the pleasure of the future. And open your eyes and close your eyes. And look at screen 1. And then screen 2. Then screen 3. Then screen 4. Open your eyes, close your eyes, going quicker each time, looking at screen 1, then screen 2, then screen 3, then screen 4. Open your eyes, closing your eyes, looking at screen 1, looking at screen 2, then screen 3, then screen 4. Opening your eyes, closing your eyes, internalizing this and deepening this each time, looking at screen 1, the trigger, looking at screen 2, the worst case scenario had you given in, looking at screen 3, I don't drink, looking at screen 4, all the positives and pleasure the future holds as a non-drinker. And then one last time, opening your eyes and closing your eyes, looking at screen 1, and then screen 2, then screen 3 and screen 4. And then with your eyes closed, just notice those screens just moving away. As another screen can come up and you can see on this screen yourself way off in the future, having quit drinking many, many years ago. Noticing positives, noticing what your life is like now that you just say, I don't drink, whenever anyone asks you. Now that you live life as a non-drinker. And notice what difference it's made to how you look, how you think, how you feel, to your interactions with others. And just take some time to enjoy and really feel good as you experience watching the future as a non-drinker, as someone that says, I don't drink. And you can take as long as you need to do this, and you can come back and listen to this often, as that process embeds into your daily life. Of any time that trigger happens, it instantly and instinctively leads to thinking of the worst case scenario, which leads to the thought of I don't drink, which leads to thoughts and feelings of pleasure of what you're going to be gaining because you've said I don't drink. And as it begins to become a part of your neurology, a part of your instinctive behaviour, it will begin to happen so fast that it's faster than your conscious mind can manage to process, going from a trigger happening in the environment to feeling pleasure at that trigger having no impact on you. Because unconsciously, the worst case scenario will have popped up. Unconsciously, you'll say, "I don't drink," to yourself. And consciously, you'll feel good. And the effects of this can increase each time you listen to it. And so you can take all the time you need before you either wake up and reorientate back to the room, or if it's more appropriate to do so, just drifting off comfortably to sleep.